Today we are gonna start working on a new game, but this time is gonna be different. This time is gonna be vibing. As you can see in the screen, TileRivals just announced a couple of days ago the Vibe Jam. That it's a jam, a game jam, where you just need to put your games that need to follow some restrictions, but the most important one is that it needs to be done by vibe coding. And this is something that I've tried a bit in the past to vibe code some things, but I end up always going and diving into the code. So I guess that this is the opportunity to start actually diving into the vibe code. So this is the signal I was waiting for. Here you can see in his post the different rules, so anyone can enter with the game. At least 90% of the code has to be written with AI. It should be started today or after today, so we are fine here. It needs to be accessible on the web without any login or sign up, and free to play. Multiplayer are preferred. Any engine can be used, usually 3GS is recommended. No loading screens, heavy downloads, has to be almost instantly in the game. Then you need to add the HTML code on the Google Forms, also one entry per person. And here are some suggestions on what to do, who will be the jury, and yeah, different information that how the things will go. Also, here if we click on the link in the first comment, that is where the game needs to be submitted, then we can see here that there's more information about everything. So it's the whole same thing in here, but then also we have some other information such as the portal thing. So it says that in your game you can add a portal, and with this portal, whenever you enter, you are redirected to their site, and from their site or their widget that they implemented together with, I don't know who said, but with someone. Yeah, it makes it easy. S13K, I think it was. No, Bolt Neo. So with this, you can jump from one game to the other, and also make that other games can link to yours. So basically, as a quick check, what is vibe coding? It's a development method of software where you just use an LLM to generate code, and you allow people to just give instructions, general instructions, instead of in a natural language, instead of just having to write manual syntaxes on the code. So, well, yeah, here there are a few videos and things, but at the end, what it's important is that you need to do it by manual language or natural language, and you need to be vibing with the ideas and be more creative in that part. So with that in mind, I just set up a new chat here, and we are gonna vibe in this session the game idea. I have doubts because actually when I saw this yesterday night, I came up with one idea. What about if I build a city of the vibes? And after a few checks, I came up with vibepolis.com. So polis is like the city word in, I don't know if it was in Roman or, well, in Latin, or which is the actual word, or the language, but yeah, like I'm thinking on a polis or a city where there's everything vibed and there are things or different themes, so you can go to one place and do one thing, or go to another place and do other things. But since I'm not sure what to do, we'll start with a fresh session without saying anything. So that we have that part as an optional thing if we don't find anything interesting, but we are gonna vibe everything. So what are you working on today? I just saw there is a game jam called Vibe Jam by Peters. Level 0 in X, and I will paste the thing. Here some information is post. This is most of it because the other one is important later, but not now. How the things work. Yeah, I guess that this is let's work on coming up with an idea for a game that can be submitted there. So yeah, I guess that I have moved the previous minutes just at the double speed or triple so that you don't see the whole chat, because otherwise I've been here around half an hour now and most of it is not interesting. I've been jumping from one place to the other. I've seen different options. We've been seeing the previous submissions, the ones who won last year, and basically seems that we finally came up with one idea, that is this daily grid. Daily grid is just a working name for now. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be a fast competitive puzzle where you place tiles on a grid to maximize your score, and everyone has the same challenge every day. The core concept is that you have a small grid, then you receive tiles one by one and you place them strategically. Tiles interact, bonuses, penalties, and the game ends and you get a score. The loop is easy. You start the game instant, you place that many tiles, you see the score, you compare with others, you play again or try the daily challenge. And that's it, clean and active. Addictive. Why this is the right idea? It's fun alone, so it's a puzzle, so you can play and work perfectly solo. It's multiplayer, live, powerful. There's this leaderboard plus the same daily seed. They're replayable, there are different runs, you can try to optimize. There's buildable in 6 days, that despite having 1 month, I'm not gonna be spending that much time because I have other things that will take my time, and it's also expandable later and it can grow. So yeah, there's like those tiles, there's this tile flow, the different modes, and the retention built in. There's this multiplayer. I think I like the multiplayer option. There was a real time game where multiple users were sharing the spike. Yeah, so solo has real multiplayer. So I unlocked the idea. There's this a shared grid where players take turns placing tiles to maximize their score while competing for space. So there's this setup. Everyone plays on the same board. Turn loop, you get a tile, you place it on the grid, score updates instantly next play turn until it's full. So not random chaos, you see other moves, you can react, player interaction is key, you can block others, steal good spots, ring combos. Still work solo, so you can play all turns by yourself. There's this tile system, just 3 of them. I think I would be adding more. The player interaction, this is where the magic is. So you see the opponent building houses, you place factory next to them, there's sabotage. You build the park cluster, others try to steal adjacency. This creates real tension. There's this multiplayer mode, turn-based but real-time feel, so each player has 5-10 seconds per turn if they can play auto-skip. They skip fast-paced, no waiting frustration. And scope control critical. Okay, perfect, 6 days, play plan. I would like also that it has the option to play solo, so you can game or play on your own. Perfect. So yeah, Grid Clash. I don't know if this is an option. It's taken. Let's see if they already do that. Doesn't seem so. Okay, so we're gonna be vibing the name too. TileRivals, yeah, TileRivals, I like that. TileRivals.com. Okay, I think I like that one. Or Tile Clash, just to be sure. TileRivals, yeah, I think TileRivals is the word. So yeah, we ended up finding a name for the game. So TileRivals is, with that in mind, create. I wanted to check also the languages that they would use. So here at some point in the post, they added this. So they are. I don't know if I can see which languages were used. I'm just checking this part where there are things. Yeah. Great taxi assets, seems it's manual things. So I don't think there's extra languages in here other than. But being in Netlify makes me think about it being something. Also here, let's see what it is. This one was built using Next.js. And this one Apple Mobile. PWA. So for sure there's a progressive web app. I'm not seeing exactly which one it is. It may be just manual or like custom without any big framework on it. I don't know if maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, but it doesn't look like. So if I start. No, it doesn't look like it. Seems more like yeah, PWA, but nothing. Okay, so I'm not gonna be adding any restrictions. Game design document, instructions to run on code. Not about timelines, but about things that need to be. So with that, I think this is a good thing to finish the first video as soon as this gets. We've been here around 43 minutes now, so let's say that it will take 45, and then I'll remove the most of the parts or speed up most of the parts so that you don't need to see the whole conversations about that, and make it a 10 minutes video if I can. But we have a clear idea of the game and a name for it. So I'll be buying that domain right now before publishing the video, just in case that I guess no one will see this. But if you see it and you take the domain, you've seen that it has taken me some headaches. So before finishing, we'll read the document that it says. I even created a by police folder. Now we know that it's not gonna be this, but yeah, we are gonna be creating here I'm gonna be renaming the things in here by police to, how did we call it? Tile what? Rivals? Tiles rivals? TileRivals. Okay, done. Let's see if it still works. Let me open the folder in here. Yeah. Now I'm here. So let's see. I'm copying this. It's a bit slow since there is quite a context in this chat already. And I'm gonna be creating master instructions equals markdown and a shorter follow-up codex from follow-up from. So I'm gonna be checking this from the very beginning, just reading it through without going into everything. So build a web game called TileRivals. The product goal is create a polished, lightweight, web-based, web-first strategy game that works both in solo mode and in real-time multiplayer matches with shared turns on the same board. The game must be instantly playable in the browser with no login, no sign-up, and minimal waiting. It should feel like a real game product, not a prototype. The core concept is that TileRivals is a turn-based, shared grid strategy game. Players place tiles on a common board to score points through adjacency and positioning rules, and the same core rules must apply in solo and multiplayer. Solo mode, the player fills the board alone and uses it as training. Multiplayer mode, multiple players share the same board and alternate turns. The game must be easy to understand in under 20 seconds. This is important. The high-level principles: keep the implementation small, clean, and extensible. Prioritize game feel, clarity, and responsiveness over excessive features. Do not add accounts, inventories, currencies, chat, or unnecessary systems. Avoid feature creep. Build the game in a way that can later support more tile types and more game modes. Keep asset weight low and loading fast. The recommended stack for the front-end React and TypeScript plus Byte. Styling, simple CSS modules, or a clean, lightweight styling approach. The backend Node.js plus TypeScript. For the real-time part, we're going to be using Socket.io. And the persistence, we'll use just in-memory state for matches, optionally lightweight persistence only for leaderboard or daily challenge later. Keep the code base cleanly separated between client and server. In a different stack is chosen, it must still satisfy web first, very fast initial load, excellent local development, and simple real-time multiplayer. The deliverables will be in the project structure, so there will be a monorepo or clearly separated client-server structure like client-server. Include the scripts for local development, a script for production build, clear readme with setup and run instructions, environment variable, examples if needed. The core game rules are implement the board game with these initial rules. There is a board that the grid size is 6x6. Empty cells can accept one tile. Once placed, a tile cannot be moved. The tile types, there will be 3 tile types. A house, it has a base score, a bonus for whatever things, a bonus for whatever thing, and a penalty for whatever thing. The park that has also these things, and the factory that has also these things. Use only orthogonal adjacency for MVP, up, down, left, and right. And the tile assignment use a deterministic tile sequence generator so that the same seed always produces the same sequence. For MVP, in solo mode, the player receives the next tile from the sequence each turn. In multiplayer, each turn provides the next tile in the shared sequence for the active player. Important, do not let players choose among multiple tiles yet. Keep one presented tile per turn, okay? Then when does the game end? When the board is full or there's no valid placement remaining. Then there's the final score, the counts of the tiles, the small score breakdown, and the ranking if it's multiplayer. And if it's solo mode, there's this solo mode that has the same exact board and scoring logic. The requirements start instantly, no waiting room, single player fills the whole board. It shows current scores during play. It shows final score at the end. It allows instant restart. It allows retry same seed. It allows new seed. Okay. So it should feel like a training ground for multiplayer. The multiplayer mode, there are match rooms, some room behavior, some multiplayer game flow, how to reconnect, the spectator behavior, not required for MVP, so do not implement it unless it comes almost for free. How the turn system works, how the broadcast on the socket will work, the scoring engine, how these scores will work, which is the visual design, a clean and attractive UI, modern but lightweight, readable on desktop first, also usable on mobile. I don't think I like that part. I think I'd rather go with mobile first. Bright, gamey, polished, not childish, simple geometric tiles, main screens, TileRivals, buttons, play solo, play online, compact subtitle. Start game, how the screens are, code quality, the client side, the server side, how accessibility works, the performance, testing and validation, the readme, the important goals, so not work on these, final requirements. I almost like everything. Like everything. Just that I want it to be mobile first, since most of the users may access it. But also, did it say anything about 3GS or? Benefit us in any case. So yeah, I guess this will be my last prompt. Well, I changed instruction to mobile first. Perfect. So this is the changes. About 3GS, no, you don't need it, and I would not use it. Perfect, because it's a grid base, mostly 2D. Yeah, it makes sense. No, I think it does not make sense because it's not visually thin. I'm doubting now if we are building something for this vibe jam or if it should be totally different. I don't know if it's I'd like or if it's actually a must or not. like this part. I think that we are gonna continue with the same idea, but making it look better with this kind of isometric style. I was thinking also in that. So 3GS should be building those things, and then the other one for the logic. With that in mind, generate again, how did you call it? So now I think that we get the idea. It's 9:07, so later than I was expecting. I'm gonna be ending this initial design session in here. We got the idea, we got the initial prompt on how to build this. We know that it's mobile first. It's gonna be using React and TypeScript plus FreeJS for the React free fiber. Also, we have a clean MVP scope, and we allow it to have multiplayer and solo player. So from here, I'm gonna be ending the video. Then my next steps will be just introduce this whole prompt to the, I think that the other part it's not gonna be needed. So I'm gonna be removing the follow-up prompt. And here I'm gonna be adding this. So we have 448 lines. What I'm gonna be doing is open codecs and say follow the master instructions ND and leave it like that for some time now when I leave. So next steps, I'm gonna be doing this. If it works fine, I'm gonna be just requesting the domain. Now, actually, I think I'm buying the domain just in case, and then posting this video, and after that I'm gonna be running codecs to see how it does. And if it does not work, we'll pivot and do something else. Yeah, I guess that maybe the domain thing it's not important. I'm gonna be just focusing on this part now, and in the worst case scenario, I'm gonna be hosting it in my own domain in a subdomain. So yeah, that's not an issue. So yeah, I was having doubts, now I'm clear. Next steps is I'm gonna be publishing this video right now, and then when I come back, since I have to leave now, I'll run this codec session with these master instructions and let's see what it generates. That's all. Thank you for your time, and let's see what this jam brings.